With beginner financing, we're really going to focus on the A lenders, aka the big banks. It's very efficient to do so because of their low interest rates. That's the main reason. And then also, banks have almost unlimited money, so there's huge surpluses and resources of money that they're just begging to give away. How do you do that? How do you give the banks what they want? How do you play their game? And how do you get some of their money? Having a job is the easiest one. Literally, guys, I know people that are going back into work just to get a job, just to have some verified income so that they can get more money lent to them from the banks because it's so efficient to get these mortgages at the low rate. Now, if you don't have a job, there's other ways to have verified income as well. So you really want to make sure you're buying cash flow deals to keep things neutral or improving.
What is up, YouTube? Matt McKeever here, and in today's video we catch up with my good buddy Dylan McLauchlan. In today's video he's going to break down for us just his thought and personal experience as a real estate investor towards having a day job while building up that real estate portfolio. If you guys aren't familiar with Dylan, he's been absolutely crushing it as a real estate investor. He's been on my YouTube channel a lot of times in the past, but in today's video he's really just going to discuss a subject matter that I know is near and dear to a lot of people with JOBs. That's jobs for those of you that can't spell, but we don't even like to say that word in this house. But again, it is a really important aspect of the equation if you're looking to get traditional bank financing. Now, traditional A-lender financing isn't the bee's knees or the ends all as far as a real estate investor is concerned, but if you want to go the more traditional route of investing, you'll absolutely want this great advice from my buddy Dylan.
Hey you guys, how's it going? It's Dylan McLauchlan here. I know many of you will recognize me from Matt McKeever's channels, some of the previous videos I've done there, which you'll be able to check out in the handy playlist that we'll provide for you guys. But today I want to talk to you about something a little bit more specific, and that is specifically getting into beginner financing tips and also some of the benefits of actually having or keeping a job and having that solid source of income. Now, the reason to talk to you guys about this topic is because this is something that a lot of people have been asking me over in the YouTube comments section, at live personal meetups, or even people that I meet that are just starting out their journey and trying to figure out things, how to get started. A lot of people won't break down the benefits of financing and how to really figure out the beginner financing strategies unless you're speaking to a very experienced mortgage investor focused mortgage advisor or something of that nature. So I want to demystify a little bit of that and share with you some information that's worked for me as well as for many other friends in my network and other colleagues of mine. And so basically, with beginner financing, we're really going to focus on the A lenders, aka the big banks. Now, you might be wondering why. There's many different lenders out there, but you can build a successful real estate investing portfolio just off of A lenders, and it's very efficient to do so because of their low interest rates. That's the main reason. Now, there's many other benefits as well, which I have listed, such as like long timelines in terms of how long you can pay that mortgage off, 25 to 30 years, which is an amazing amount of time, gives you a lot of flexibility. They have really great loan to value, especially if you're able to utilize some of the high interest mortgage or high ratio mortgages, that they have with offering at the banks of Canada, as well as even if you just get a conventional mortgage, it's still going to be 20% down for a residential conventional mortgage, which is a very reasonable loan to value. Means you can leverage out pretty fantastically. And then also, banks have almost unlimited money, so there's huge surpluses and resources of money that they're just begging to give away. So as long as you qualify for it, banks will happily give you tons and tons of money. And I'm not only talking about mortgages, I'm also talking about secured lines of credit, unsecured lines of credit, and credit cards. So make sure you qualify, play by their rules, because guys, the banks have the money and they want to give it out. So without further ado, how do you do that? How do you give the banks what they want? How do you play their game, and how do you get some of their money? Now, the most important thing, I think, when it comes to getting not just money from the banks, but this can extend to many other lenders as well, is verified income. So have that in stars, verified income. Now, let me break that term down a little bit for you guys. So verified income is basically just proving that you can get an income source. And this is super important for lending because if somebody's going to give you money, they want to know how you're going to pay that money back, how you're going to get money to pay that back. So the the easiest way to satisfy verified income is just having a job, which, ooh, I know no one's gonna wanna hear that on this channel, talking about financial independence, retiring early, reaching freedom through real estate. However, it is very beneficial to be able to have a job because it's just such an easy way to satisfy this requirement. Having a job, when you have a job and you can have a verified employment letter as well as recent pay stubs, a lot of times banks and major lenders, they'll just need like 30 or 60 days of job history to show that everything's good to go. Sometimes they will want to see a recent NOA or T4 if we're getting into the nuance, showing that you've maybe had that job for up to a year. But as long as you have a job that really satisfies those income requirements, a lot of times they're going to be very lenient with those requirements. Now, if you don't have a job, there's other ways to have verified income as well.
Cashflow Tribe. Hey YouTube, have you checked out Cashflow Tribe yet? It doesn't matter whether you're an experienced, seasoned investor or brand new to the game. I can probably predict if you're currently not having the level of success you want as a real estate investor, it's due to one thing. That one thing is you're not making enough offers, plain and simple. You need to be making more offers as a real estate investor if you want to hit those big, audacious goals that you're setting for yourself. So here's the deal. Cashflow Tribe, that's the community that myself and Ben were making together. And so Ben's actually so busy trying to provide value to you guys that he had to take off there. But here's the deal. Cashflow Tribe is really a one-of-a-kind community focused on results. That's the difference between us and everyone else. We want to get you guys those results. I'm tired of seeing people commenting on my YouTube channel for 2-3 years now, but they're not making offers. What's holding you back? I'm going to guess that it's either a lack of confidence or a lack of competence. And we cover both of those things in Cashflow Tribe. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make you guys a 7-day free trial offer. You can join Cashflow Tribe completely free, get to test it out. If you like it, great, stay and pay. If you don't, well, I hope you at least find one great idea that you can take away and use to start making more offers, gain more deals, and finally start making the money related to real estate investing that's probably why you're watching my YouTube channel. So let's do this, guys. Let's make 2020 your year.
Cashflow Tribe. It is very beneficial to be able to have a job because it's just such an easy way to satisfy this requirement. Having a job, when you have a job and you can have a verified employment letter as well as recent pay stubs, a lot of times banks and major lenders, they'll just need like 30 or 60 days of job history to show that everything's good to go. Sometimes they will want to see a recent NOA or T4 if we're getting into the nuance, showing that you've maybe had that job for up to a year. But as long as you have a job that really satisfies those income requirements, a lot of times they're going to be very lenient with those requirements. Now, if you don't have a job, there's other ways to have verified income as well. Like I mentioned earlier with the NOA or the T4, if you can show on your tax receipts that you've been making an income from some means for a while and that's like a reliable source of income, then banks will usually allow that as well. However, usually their timelines are going to be a lot longer on those. For example, if you own your own business or you're self-employed, you might have to show 2 years of earning history to be able to qualify with the banks, which is a little bit more of a headache, especially if, let's say you're starting a business, first year doesn't go so well, second year you're just starting to make a little bit of money, you know what I mean? It's not till you're 3, 4, even 5 where you're actually profitable enough to show them how much money that you can actually be making. So having a job is the easiest one. Literally, guys, I know people that are going back into work just to get a job, just to have some verified income so that they can get more money lent to them from the banks because it's so efficient to get these mortgages at the low rate. However, once you satisfy that, assuming you have a verified income, now we kind of start looking into the next step. And this is the gross debt service ratio. So this is a little bit of a complex topic, but I'll try to break it down as best as I can. Gross debt service ratio, otherwise used interchangeably with the TDSR, which is your total debt service ratio. Slightly different, but used for a similar thing. Basically, both measurements are ratios that are used to see whether or not your income services the debt. So meaning if you have a large amount of income, how much debt can you service and by how much, what's the percentage, what's the ratio that you're servicing that debt at? Now, all lenders are gonna have different requirements for how much GDSR they need, but a rule of thumb is like around 30 to 33%, you know what I mean, a third, meaning that your income should be able to be 3 times the amount of debt that you're servicing. You shouldn't be loaded up to the eyelids in debt where you can't take on any more. You need to have a good amount of buffer space. So 33% is kind of a rule of thumb, but definitely check with your mortgage provider or mortgage specialist to make sure what type of gross debt service ratio they're looking for, and then that can give you an idea of how much income you need to be verified for in order to qualify for that financial asset or for that money with an A bank. Now, coming down, we're going to look at how do you get the verified income, what are some sources, and these sources will tie into your gross debt service ratio. So really, there's two main sources that I can kind of look at when it comes to a real estate investor building up a portfolio. And so I'll kind of start backwards a little bit. I'm going to start with the cash flow. So when you do buy cash flowing assets, obviously you're investing in real estate, you're buying properties in order to make some money. Let's say your properties are spitting out some cash flow and you're making some money month to month. That's great, you're making more income. So you'd think that your gross debt service ratio would improve in correlation to that. However, that's not necessarily the case. So it is a little difficult when you're looking at your cash flow to calculate your gross debt service ratio. And this is a very important thing to be aware of, is that as you start buying more and more properties, if you're not cash flowing enough, banks are going to really scrutinize that source of income from rental properties. A lot of banks will look at the income you're making from them as almost half. They'll take the gross income, which means like the total income, and they'll cut that in half, meaning that then all your expenses still get subtracted, and at the end of the day, if your total profit is cut in half, then your net profit is going to be very slim, if any. So it is a little bit of a struggle to increase your gross debt service ratio from cash flowing real estate assets. That's why I recommended focusing on verified income like a job or business rather than investment assets. However, investment assets can improve your gross debt service ratio. However, they can also hurt it. So you really want to make sure you're buying cash flow deals to keep things neutral or improving. And then finally, the other way to make more income is obviously to have a verified income, to have a job, and that's going to be a very easy one. And so it's a great thing for somebody who's already a professional, who's maybe making around 6 figures or something like that, because they're going to have a large room to play with for their gross debt service ratios. So they can even buy some deals that are maybe not cash flowing as much, but they still have so much room to play with that they can keep stacking some up. Now, if you don't have a great source of income coming in, then you're really going to have to focus on those cash flow deals if you want to scale your portfolio and buy a lot of deals. Now, that's kind of the big purpose of this, and this is what this outline is for. For somebody who's looking to maybe acquire up to 10 properties, have 10 mortgages with A lenders at the lowest possible interest rates. So you own a good amount of real estate, a very foundational amount that can give you a healthy, satisfying lifestyle, but at the same time, you're paying super low interest rates. You're going to have those mortgages forever, so you have tons of time to pay them off, tons of flexibility, and that's kind of what we're shooting for here, that amazing foundation that can really allow you to achieve financial independence and financial freedom. So hope you got some value out of this, guys. Once again, any comments or questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Till then, take care.
Thanks again to Dylan for taking the time to break down his thoughts in regards to exactly having a job and building a real estate portfolio at the same time. Absolutely love it. If you guys enjoyed this video, smash that like button and hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel. Otherwise, if you want more great videos of Dylan teaching you stuff, then check out this playlist right here. Or just want more great Canadian real estate content in general, well, check out this playlist down here. And until next time, remember, making money is a team sport. There's more than enough money in this world for us to all make it, but if you're not saving it, I mean, like, what's the point? Thanks, guys.